I'm at the Quality Inn in Morton, Illinois. And I'm saying that because I know that all those of you who are stalking me won't be able to find me because by the time I post this, I'll be gone. One of the things I thought I might do today is go to a vigil mass. And well, there's a 4 o'clock one in Normal, Illinois. I mean, it should be a normal church, right? It's in Normal. And that would still give me time to go to mass and make it to my show tonight at the winery in Mackinac. So I go to the website. Go to the website, make sure, because you can't always tell when a church lists in one site that it has a 4 p.m. mass on Saturday that it really does. So I go to the website of Epiphany Parish in Normal, Illinois, and it says who we are. Oh, it's a mission statement, a statement of identity. Welcome to the website of Epiphany Catholic Church, serving the Bloomington, Normal, Illinois area. We believe all are called to be on a spiritual journey. What matters is not where a person is on that journey, but actually being on the journey itself. Therefore, we seek to welcome all people, regardless of the stage of their spiritual life, their struggles and failures. God bless. Father Eric. It is so easy for me to be a curmudgeon and hateful and despicable. But I've actually put these kinds of words in one of my plays, and Stanford Nutting, of course, says them. Well, the thing is, it's the journey that's important, not the destination. So the fact that I'm going to hell doesn't matter. I'm on a journey, and that's what counts. See, it is just so easy for me to be filled with rage, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go over to where the coffee is because I just made my coffee. And as you remember, I did not give up. I did not. The chair here at the Quality Inn is not the best chair. I did not give up coffee for Lent. No, why would I do such a foolish thing? What did I give up for Lent? Being sarcastic. As you can see, I'm not really doing well. Okay. I can't see what I'm going to talk about today. But I know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to calm down. And I'm going to screen share. And I'm going to say, well, you know what? If we find a little St. Paul, maybe that'll cure me of this stupid mission statement. Anyway, I'm not going to that mass because if I go to that mass, it will be by far the least spiritual hour of my entire week. We're into Galatians now. Okay, I'm going to scroll down and give you a couple translations. I am astonished that you are so quickly deserting the one who called you to live in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. One seven. Come on. Which is really no gospel at all. See, I like that. Let's go down and see some of the other translations. Not that there is another one in the English Standard Version, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. I am astonished that you are turning to another gospel, Berean Study Bible, which is not even a gospel. Berean Literal Bible, which is not another, except there are some who are troubling you and are desiring to pervert the gospel of Christ. So Ryan sent me this thing. Was it Spot the Fake Jesus? It was some sort of website filled with all these memes. Spot the fake Jesus. In other words, spot the false gospel. But what I like about Galatians 1:7 is there is no other gospel. One of the things that it's hard for me to get in my head is the fact that the liberals in the church, and God bless them, there's a lot good to be said for the liberals in the church, and I mean that, even though they put up mission statements that are insipid. Nevertheless, still, what they don't understand, and what it's hard for me to realize that they don't understand, they really think that this is just a man-made thing. They really don't think that this religion is of God. In my play, Socrates Meets Jesus, based on the book by Peter Kraft, Socrates questions these students. He comes back to life and he finds himself at a Bible college, and he questions the students. is this religion a man-made thing or a God-made thing? And they all say, oh, it's man-made. Well, he says there are three major religions who claim to be God-made: Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. This, we claim, is from God, not from man. If it's from man, I say burn down every last church. Because if this is from man, it's one of the worst things we've done as the human race. If it's from God, we better be careful. Because if it's from man, it's all a lie. At any rate, I'm astonished at how quickly you are turning, foolish Galatians, from the gospel that I preached to you and the church that I established, how quickly you are turning to another gospel, as if there is such a thing. The liberals keep thinking there will come a time when the church will allow whatever we want from below the waist and above. Whatever we want will be sanctioned. But it's interesting, why would they care? When I was blogging foolishly and getting constantly attacked by other so-called devout Catholics, they were devout, but they were just worse people than I am. When I was blogging, what happened? I would say, we're not supposed to lie. We're not supposed to torture. It's pretty self-evident. People would be furious with me. And they would attack me again and again and again. And I would say, why are they attacking me? This is in the catechism. It's all over scripture. Well, it's conscience. Our conscience doth make cowards of us all, as Macbeth, as Hamlet says. And I can't even see what I'm talking about. So the thing is, we want a church that tells us, we want a God that tells us, hey, whatever. It doesn't matter where you're going, as long as you just keep going. It doesn't matter if you're going to hell. There is no hell. There's no heaven, no hell below us, above us, only sky. So come on, just enjoy yourselves. Well, that's despicable. It's not only despicable, it's tremendously despairing and nihilistic. And if you try to live that way, you will be ultimately unhappy. You could find enough diversions to kind of keep you satisfied for a while, but ultimately, you're going to say, is there good news? Is there a gospel? Or is this lie I've been living just something that I've concocted and others around me have concocted? Because maybe there is one gospel, and everything else that pretends to be that ain't the real deal. And then, of course, we have more from St. Paul. And if you have to kind of find, which is why I'm going to go to the Berean Study Bible, you have to find the better translation of this, because the politically correct translations don't cut it. And one of my favorite parts, verse 10, am I now seeking the approval of men or of God? Or am I striving to please men? Am I still a man pleaser? If I were still trying to please men, I would not be a servant of Christ. Now, I make fun of the bishops. I can't think of a bishop, maybe 2 or 3 on earth, who could say this. Am I now seeking the approval of men or of God? Or am I striving to please men? If I were still trying to please men, I would not be a servant or a slave of Christ. For I certify to you, brothers, that the gospel I preached is not devised by man. And then he tells his story of how he met Jesus. The gospel I preached is not devised by man. The politically correct versions will say, am I still trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. The gospel I am preaching was not devised by people. Well, okay. But it sounds so much better. This is not from men. If it were, it wouldn't be as challenging and difficult to swallow as it is. Anyway, so I get cranky. I get cranky when I drink this much coffee, which is why I should give it up for Lent. I get cranky when I'm in the Quality Inn in Morton, Illinois. But, you know, at least I have an outlet. I get to visit this all upon my students in scripture study.